Hello, everybody, and welcome to this year's Habitat Breakfast Fundraiser. We are so glad that you are here joining with us today. I am Jenny. I am the Director of Communications at Christ Community Church. I'm also here with Tony, the Media Director at Christ Community Church. He's helping us put on this virtual experience for you guys today, so thank you, Tony. Also, Sherry, we have the Executive Director of Habitat. We are so honored to be doing this with you today, so thank you so much for being here.
Oh, Jenny and Tony, we are just so thrilled to be with you and our Christ community family who, oh my goodness, you guys, how much more can you give to this community and especially Greeley-Weld Habitat for Humanity? We have been forever grateful for your support and your partnership. But I know everybody is here today for a very special reason. Some of you have even got up really early, not as early as usual, right? Yes. No, getting up at 5:30, getting out the door. It's all about you enjoying this moment, whether you're at home in your PJs with your favorite cup of coffee, or maybe a group of friends having a little early breakfast. You can watch this virtual event right anywhere, Jenny,
yes,
correct?
Anywhere,
anytime. Gosh, we were just, a little bit overwhelmed, of how was this breakfast going to look this year? And you guys and your partnership, as always, has just made it possible. So thank you.
We are honored to do it very much. And Larry, we are so grateful that you are here. She is the Faith and Development Director at Habitat. And Larry, I would love to hear your heart behind just some of the sponsorships and going into this today.
Absolutely. Well, as everyone knows, Habitat is just an organization that can only function because of community support. So our sponsors, which you saw before, and if you are viewing this on our event page, they should be at the bottom. These businesses, these local businesses, are what helps us to establish the foundation that we have going into an event like this, to be able to make those dollars really grow and support, like we have the last few years, 2 whole families out of this event. So each sponsor is so vitally important to our mission, and we are so grateful.
So to start us off today, we were able to get a message from Habitat International CEO. And Sherry, I would love for you to kind of set this up of just the importance of hearing from Jonathan Reckford on this.
Oh, yes, Jen, what an honor it was to have Jonathan agree to accept to share a message. Just a little bit about Habitat International. Habitat International has been building and repairing homes across the globe. 22 million individuals impacted by the generosity and the hard work of Habitat's mission. 70 countries, 1,300 affiliates in the U.S. alone. And Jonathan is the excellent leader that provides us opportunities across the globe and right here in our own backyard. So we are so excited for him to share a few words with us today. And Jonathan, just thank you so much. Our guest, we know you're going to be inspired by what he has to say.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Reckford, CEO of Habitat for Humanity. I wish I could be with you there in person to thank you for your support and congratulate you on the exciting work going on in the Greeley area. I imagine that all the recent conversations about recovery and looking into the future are very familiar as you recall your community's rebuilding efforts following the flood of 2013. The work you did in partnership with Commonwealth companies to fast-track the construction of 100 housing units lost in the storm was amazing. And best wishes on your latest plan to develop a mixed income community that takes into consideration so many needs as well as the gifts of residents. I frequently talk about the fact that it's going to take everyone working together to significantly impact the housing crisis. These projects are great examples of bringing together the public, private, and social sectors to achieve common goals. The work you're doing with at-risk youth at Jefferson High School provides another great lesson about the power of partnership and creating opportunities that are beneficial to everyone. Your focus on building strength by building relationships so that you can build impact is spot on. Many thanks to Dick Monfort for your long-standing support and endorsement of Greeley-Weld Habitat as the best nonprofit investment you can make. And thanks to all of you who are participating in this event virtually. This is new to all of us. Sherry and her team and families throughout the area are counting on you. I pray that you will be generous, because now, more than ever, more families are going to need your help. If you're just learning about the work of Habitat in the Greeley area, please know that your gifts will be leveraged to accomplish more than you could imagine, to help families build a better life. I would ask you to consider the value of a home, particularly in the light of the past few months. Consider all the amazing work that the affiliate is doing to change lives, to rebuild communities, and to create thriving and inviting places in which to live. Then listen with your heart and give generously. Thank you, and God bless.
Those were pretty inspiring words from Jonathan, just to see what you guys have been doing globally and right in our backyard, right here in Weld County. That is pretty incredible. Thank you, Jonathan, for being a part of this today. Tony, you want to talk about some of the easy ways that people can...
You know, and we're making no mistake. This event is about raising funds for this incredible organization. So we were trying to make this very easy for anybody at any time during this broadcast, watching this video. You can text to give. We have a website link that you can go to, and periodically throughout this broadcast, we're going to be flashing that information on the screen.
Yes. I was able to sit down with Matt Notter, the Habitat Board President, earlier and really kind of hear the perspective on this past year and some of the future things that are coming up for Habitat. So please take a look. Hey, I am here with the Board of Directors President, Matt Notter. Thank you for being with us today. Matt, I would love to kind of hear your heart on this past year and everything as the Board President and kind of what your journey has been this past year.
Absolutely, and thank you for letting me be a part of this, and thank everybody for taking part in our unique virtual fundraiser breakfast this year. The last 12 months has been very challenging, obviously, as it has been for many organizations. We're not immune to the effects of COVID and economic conditions, but the board of directors, our staff, and our volunteers have worked tirelessly to maintain what we've worked so hard to build over the last decades in this community. Specifically, we've had some challenges with our restore being shut down by state regulation, home building challenges, finding land in a good economy is difficult, but we've been working very hard and our staff has done an amazing job trying to get us there.
All right, so you kind of touched on the restore. So what have been kind of the challenges that you guys have had to kind of overcome this past year?
You know, the restore offered us some unique challenges for us this year in that we had record momentum growth going into December, into January, and then obviously COVID really slowed us down. We were shut down for a period of time. We were able to make sure all of our staff was well taken care of while we were shut down. And the reward of that is once we were able to come back out of this and reopen, we are now back up to our standard goal level set of sales. We now have 2 trucks going around Weld County pretty much full time taking in donations. We're bringing in new product lines, more appliances, more tile, more cabinetry. And I can't say enough about Lou and Clayton, our leadership staff there, who are just knocking it out of the park, making sure that this organization can maximize our donor dollars into homes. And that's what really it's all about.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So tell me about where we're headed community-wise and where you guys kind of see future.
Absolutely. We're really excited about the future of the organization because we're starting to develop some really strong, important ties with community partners, some of which we'll mention later when we're handing out some awards. But specifically Northern Engineering, the City of Greeley, the City of Evans, Impact Development Fund, countless others who have helped us get into several projects that we're really excited about. The main one being our Mission Springs project down in Evans. That was a really unique collaborative opportunity that we partnered with Commonwealth Communities, a low-income rental-based developer, who helped us segue into our newest 27-home subdivision that's going to allow duplex models, higher density models, really affordable product, starting with our first duplex. Thomas and Jacqueline are fantastic first homeowners in that project who are best friends, and they're going to be neighbors in a duplex out there. So the future of the organization is about collaborative, community-based building of neighborhoods. As everyone knows, land development can have its challenges, and as a nonprofit, it has even more challenges. But we're working diligently with these third-party partners to develop a model that we can take around the county and around our area to keep going with the mission.
That's wonderful. You mentioned a couple of awards. What are these awards that are going to be given out a little bit later in the segment?
So today, you know, the difficult thing about giving out awards in an amazing, so strong and as amazing as this one is you want to give an award to everybody. Everyone chips in, so many people do so much. But we've identified 2 community partners specifically who have done amazing work for us and need to be recognized. Our community impact partner is an organization that's been tirelessly supporting us financially, administratively, legally, to make sure that we're maximizing what we can do for our homeowners. We're also giving out our Volunteer of the Year award to one of our volunteers who has gone above and beyond on our job sites for countless hours, making sure that these homes are being built as fast as we can and as safe as we can.
Well, Matt, thank you so much for being here today. Is there anything else on your heart that you would just like to share with viewers out there that are with us today?
Absolutely, and thank you for all the help with this, and to everybody watching, thank you for participating in this. And I want you to know that the board of directors, the staff, and our volunteers are working tirelessly to protect the investment you make in this organization. Not just your time and your effort on our job sites, but your donations. Those donations go so far to helping this mission succeed, and we're going to keep working hard to make sure that we're doing the best we can with it. Thanks.
We were actually able to present these awards earlier today, and we're able to capture this honoring moment. So take a look.
As many of you know and have experienced, none of our homes are possible without our amazing volunteers. And so as part of our event this year, we really wanted to take a special person and recognize all of their heart and time that they've given to all of our families. So Manny and Lizette are going to present our Volunteer of the Year award.
Greg, es un honor presentar esto y
Greg, it's an honor for me to present this to you.
Y por ser una excelente persona y por todo lo que nos ayuda.
You're an amazing person and for all the help you give to us.
Y por ser mi gran amigo.
And because you are a great friend.
Thank you. Mi amigo.
Our next award is going to be presented by Matt Notter for our Community Partner of the Year award.
It is my honor and privilege to be here to present our Community Partner of the Year award to Impact Development Fund. Without them, a lot of our success over the last 20 years would not have been possible. Among those achievements that they've helped us reach are our West Hill and Park project and the revitalization that we're working on there, and our growth, our explosive growth from what we used to average as 4 to 5 homes a year. Now we're aiming for 15, and I think we're going to get there. So Megan Ferguson's here with Impact Development Fund. Thank you so much for everything your organization has done to help us. Appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Matt. We're, for all of us at Impact Development Fund, we are honored to receive this award and truly humbled with this recognition. We know full well that there are many, many organizations that come together in a big puzzle to make all of these pieces come together and provide the resources necessary for these opportunities and these new developments. So we're extremely grateful, and the teams that we work with, we couldn't do it without them. So with that collaboration, this is a dream come true. So thank you so much for this honor.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, those awards were so beautiful and well crafted. And tell me a little bit, Sherry, about these community partnerships and how important these are.
Oh, thank you, Jen, because we love talking about our community partners. They mean everything to us. Community partnerships really are what enable us to do our work. It doesn't matter how large, how small, all of them are important. But Impact Development Fund in particular has really helped us to move to the next level. And by next level, I mean helping more families than ever in our almost 33-year history. So we can't thank them enough. We can't show them enough gratitude. Partnerships are everything, as Matt clearly said. So just thank you for this opportunity to shine a spotlight on them, because honestly, that's who deserves the credit.
That's great. And Lowry, community partnerships are really important, but I know there's a huge volunteer piece of this. Let us know, tell us how essential this is for you guys.
So volunteers are vital to our organization. They're the main reason that our homes can stay affordable for our families. The amount of work and time that the volunteers put into our job site building those homes is one reason we can keep the mortgages for our families below 30% of their income. So literally 1 hour translates to over $25 in savings for our families. Wow. So without the volunteers, our families would not have the same successful experience, and we wouldn't be able to offer these homeownership opportunities in the way that we can. Manny Loya, our construction superintendent, one of our construction team, actually made those awards. And what's awesome about Manny is he really loves what he does, and he bonds with each volunteer that comes out on the site. And he's actually a Habitat homeowner. So he and Lizette Pomalis, our family services director, were able to present that award to Greg, and he's out there every day almost. So we're just really grateful for his service and the service of everyone else who's helped us to get to over 150 families.
That's phenomenal commitment to a beautiful cause. That's incredible. Thank you guys for that story.
Well, we have a really cool story for you right now, so I do video stuff. I'm a video storyteller, and I've had the privilege over the past couple years to present some videos at the Habitat Breakfast, and it's a humbling thing to see how intentional Habitat for Humanity is with the homes that they set out to build for these families. You know, Tom and Jackie are quadriplegics, and so with that comes a very specific set of, circumstances. To have a solid quality of life, there are things that, as someone who does not have that circumstance in my life, I don't even have to think about some of these things. But Habitat did. Habitat did. So take a look at this story.
Habitat for Humanity is an essential organization in this community and many communities throughout the United States and throughout the world. We are an organization that really meets its mission every single day to provide access to affordable housing for families who may not ever have access to a home of their own.
And there couldn't be more deserving families than we have in Thomas and Jacqueline. And you guys know what a special place you hold in Habitat's heart, and we can't wait to get going.
I'm the caregiver. I help them with all of their daily activities, bathing, dressing, meals, those kinds of things. Jackie has a primary caregiver that does most of her care, but I will fill in now and then. And I have to say I'm probably the primary caregiver of Tom. They're decent, good human beings that had the misfortune of being in an accident and having their mobility and a lot of their everyday activities taken away from them.
We don't know for sure, but the back tire blew out and it caused me to roll. And as a result, I ended up breaking my neck. And it was all happened right in front of the emergency room. So had it not happened in front of the emergency room, I wouldn't have lived.
In 2009, my brother and my sister-in-law now, and my boyfriend at the time, and a friend of ours, we went out bowling. And on our way home, we were hit by a drunk driver. And everybody luckily was okay, but I ended up getting injured.
Tom and Jackie were very unique applicants for us. Both of them are disabled. Jackie is a quadriplegic and has been so for most of her adult life. There were a lot of accessibility issues with the living space that she was in.
So where I'm living currently, I really love it. I feel incredibly lucky to be in this apartment. It is ADA certified, but that doesn't mean that it's accommodating for a quadriplegic.
ADA spans the gamut of somebody that has a brain injury and can walk and talk and get around pretty well, to people who are actually totally, don't have very much use of their arms and hands and so forth and so on. And so when they make an ADA accessible apartment, it's not always up to the standards of what a quadriplegic needs.
To find a place where I have enough room for my wheelchair, or I have a roll-in shower, or I have a Hoyer system so people can get me out of bed. It's just a lot of things that people don't really realize unless you're in the situation, or unless you really know somebody that is injured on a higher level.
A roll-in shower. Things like having the light fixtures a little bit lower and the electrical outlet's a little bit higher. Just things to customize a little bit to my disability.
The basic reason that Tom wants to move out of there is because the area is not a very good area of town. And his entrance is right next to the alley. And there's some unsavory characters that live in that particular area. That's one of the reasons that this opportunity for them with Habitat is just awesome. It's just an awesome opportunity because they can have their houses built basically how they need them.
Well, when we first heard about Habitat, it was like a dream come true. I would have never in a million years dreamt that I would have my own home, a backyard, and being able to live next to one of my best friends, Tom. I mean, it's just amazing. And I mean, I truly believe that God has had his hand in this, because we're going to be living right next to a caregiver, Margaret.
And this whole idea of him owning his own house is just like, he's just so excited you can't keep him, you can't keep him under control. And Jackie's the same way. She never ever thought, especially after her accident. Of course, she had hopes and dreams before the accident that she would someday own her own house and so forth. But, after her accident, that was all like dashed. And so then they decided, when Sherry said, yeah, they'd be good candidates, and we went for it. It was just give them the opportunity to be as close to normal as they can.
I never thought that this would happen, and they are truly amazing people, and everybody that volunteers for them, and it's overwhelming sometimes, and I just feel extremely lucky and extremely blessed. So, sorry.
Habitat for Humanity gives people hope. It gives people a safe place to live and to raise their children. It gives them access to a real community, a neighborhood that is created.
And I'm at a loss for words when it comes to this, because they've given me hope. And that's worth a lot in this world.
Wow, Tony, thank you for capturing just the true heart of what Habitat is for people. And Sherry, I want to hear just your reaction to that as well, and just the heart for these people.
Well, first of all, I have to thank Tony. Tony, what a gift in telling the stories of our families through the years. And you hit it again with Jacqueline and Thomas. Honestly, Jen, God brings our families to us. We do try very hard, our entire team, to think of every detail for every family. But these two families, Jacqueline and Thomas, when they first were brought to us by their caregiver, there was almost this feeling of heaviness, because we'd never done a home for a quadriplegic household ever. in our 32-year history. And so to know their story and know the road that they traveled, you know, Jacqueline being injured by a drunk driver, you know, in her early 20s, and then Thomas and Jacqueline becoming best friends in rehab. And I'll never forget the evening the family selection committee was listening to their stories, and their nurse, Margaret, trying to advocate for them and help the family selection committee understand what everyday life looks for them. We went to visit Thomas's little apartment, and outside of his apartment, the only way he could get out was through a gravel road in his back alley. And there again, that is the magic and the miracle of Habitat. God brings them to us, and then he helps us figure a way out to serve them. And really, he gets the glory and the credit for that, because we just get to watch the miracle unfold with each and every family. And Jacqueline and Thomas are no exception.
Absolutely, Sherry. Yes, it's amazing how so many people want to be a part of this organization. The past 4 years, this is the 5th year that Dick Monfort has been a staple to these breakfasts as the keynote speaker. And Sherry was able to sit down and have a really cool conversation with Dick. And if you've been to previous breakfasts, you know he just loves Habitat. It exudes from him. Take a look at this awesome conversation.
Hey Dick, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and you?
Oh, so well. It's so good to see you as always. You know, thank you. I mean, I'm going to just start off by saying how much we miss the Rockies this year. We'll jump into Habitat in a minute.
Okay.
But let's just talk about how things are going. I loved your draft picks this past week. You got some serious talent, I think. So tell us a little bit about what's going on in your world.
Well, so we got shut down in March. It was. You know, one day you're sitting there at spring training, watching these games, evaluating guys, telling yourself you're going to be really good, and the next day you're in there talking to the players and telling them they got to go home. And, you know, we're hopeful that, by the end of, sometime in July we'll start playing. We got a lot of people that miss baseball, and we got a lot of employees that couldn't, that are at home. We're starting to get people back into the office, so hopefully we're over the bad part. I'm not going to kid myself that everything's fine, but hopefully we can get the country rolling again here.
That's awesome, because summer without baseball is just not summer.
I know it.
Yeah, I mean, I think of how many families enjoy that time at the ballpark. I know how much our family enjoys going to see the Rockies every year.
Well, we're trying to get there as quick as possible.
Well, but I just want to thank you so much, Dick, for just your long-term support. Tell me, what do you want to know about Habitat this year? What can I fill in for you?
Well, the greatest thing about Habitat is I don't know if my English was never very good, but it's sort of perpetual. The more you build, the more families you satisfy, the more you can build after that. So hopefully, I'm guessing that you're still building lots of homes, and you're going to tell me you had a record year last year, right?
Of course.
And that's what I would expect. But you're building homes, and everything's going well, and you've got property to build homes on, and that's great.
Yeah. In fact, we're so excited. Our development in Evans is just finishing up the infrastructure, and we will start building the first 2 homes, well, 3 homes actually. We're going to pour 3 pads at the end of this month. So can you believe it? A year and a half from, just the state and the generous offer we had there to hop on replacing half of what was lost in the 2013 floods with our partners Commonwealth. So that was a big moment for us this year,
Yeah.
and we were so excited because just like you said, the way Habitat works best is the more we build and the more families we put in, the more families we can keep putting
Right.
in. And so to get this kind of momentum building is so exciting.
It's a great model.
Yeah.
I mean, it is truly a great model. These aren't, you know, to a degree it's charity, but these people go in and they take over their home, they make it better, they make the neighborhood better, and by them paying their mortgages and stuff, it allows you to build another home over here, which I guess that's perpetual, right?
Yes,
it just
it
keeps
is.
growing, and that's a great thing about it. It's a
Yeah.
great model. It's one of the greatest models there is.
Yeah. Dick, I'm trying to think. I look back, how long have you been involved with Greeley-Weld
my.
Habitat? It's a little test.
Yeah. Do you know the answer?
I do, but
I don't know. I know that you know, the model is so great, and Joe Tennyson, I think, is somebody I dealt with sort of from the beginning,
Yes.
and 12 years.
at least, maybe even 13 now.
Okay.
Yeah. Coming
Well,
up. Yeah.
it's great, and you know, I've seen the neighborhoods fill up. You know, you're doing two things. You're giving something to a person that probably might never be able to be a homeowner. They'd be a renter, which gives them the ability to have equity and to take pride in, you know, fixing it up sort of the way they want to, in the yard and all that. And it's incredible. I mean, seriously, I think if you look around, if everybody had a home and if everybody was building equity and you know, it's just a step in life that is important to everybody.
It sure is. Well, in fact, it was pretty much what our country was founded on after World War II.
Right.
You know, I know you had an uncle that gave his life
Right.
for this country.
Right.
And I think that's why our veterans builds and some of
Yeah.
the things that we do are so important to
Yeah.
us. Our Jefferson program, we've expanded kind of the mission of Habitat, but the wealth creation in this nation, if we trace back a big portion, goes back to home ownership.
Right.
And so we're just so thrilled to be a
Right.
part of such an impactful organization. Do you know, Dick, right now we build in 70 countries, 1,300 affiliates. But right here, I want to just update you a little bit about our Jefferson program.
Right.
You've been a huge supporter of that, and our young men and women who now we're going into the 5th year of that program. We have graduated close to 150 students. Another quiz, how many of those students do you think received their high school diploma entering into the program, keep in mind, with a 0.8 GPA?
I'll bet 150.
Right on.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's right. No. That's great. And some of them work for you or work for you
two.
afterwards, right?
Yes, we have one young man right now actually decided to work for us in our restore, but we're gearing him up for management because we saw such leadership potential.
Right.
He was a young man that traveled to Atlanta with us when we presented that at the international conference.
Yeah.
And his name is Matt Cruz. He is just doing a tremendous job. That program continues to really grow and flourish.
Just another great piece of Habitat, right?
It is. But what an incredible team we have at Habitat.
Yeah.
We have Celia Morris, who's been with us now going on 13 years.
She was trained well, by the way.
Yeah, I think you had something to do
Yeah.
with, what a financial whiz she is.
Yeah.
And then we have Mark Scott, who is our construction director. He has been building Habitat homes for 32 years.
Wow.
In fact, he now has 2 sons following in his footsteps and another young son coming his way too. So he is building a generation of Habitat builders.
That's great.
And we're so fortunate to have the team we have. The mighty little army continues to march on. You know, building homes, building communities, it takes resources.
Right.
You know that.
Right.
I know that.
Right.
In fact, Lowry Moyer, who leads our resource development team and our faith, she wears 2 hats, faith director and development director.
Right.
But you know, what we've seen in community support in these last 3 years has been outstanding.
Right.
Lowry's helped grow our faith investment from 3 to 4 faith partners to how many now, Dick, do you think?
10.
40.
Oh my God. I on purpose went low on that one.
So, I mean, we're just so indebted to you, to this community. You know, honestly, without you guys, we wouldn't be putting as many homes back, safe homes back for families into the community. And you know me, we got big plans for the future, right? We're just getting started.
Well, it seems like you got endless demand.
It is. Well, I can't thank you enough for being a part of it. I mean, when I think of the lives that you have helped transform throughout the years, I mean, I'm lucky. I get a look in their eyes every day. And I don't know how many eyes that you have brightened, how many lives you have made better, how many college educations, how many people that have come out of hospitals. You know, it takes individuals like you who really give back, who really show up, and who really do the work. And I was shocked when you were able to still come and be a part of our breakfast this year, because I mean, it's right on the heels of the draft pick, no less. But just thank you. We appreciate you now more than ever, and just wish you and your family, you know, all the very best, the best health and best continued success. And we can't wait for July.
Well, you know, I take second stage to the people that are really there on the line working, and you know, your passion and your organization's passion for what they're doing trumps anything that I can do. I know money always comes into it, and you know, I'm hopeful everybody, you know, in the last couple years I've pledged to match your gifts, and I'm willing to do that again. And you know, so if you want to get into my pocketbook, what you got to do is you got to give to Habitat, and it's a great cause. And you know, instead of giving $10, you're giving 20, or instead of giving 1,000, you're giving 2,000. So I mean, I just hope we can keep you and your staff growing and doing the things that you do so well. And I appreciate being even mentioned with the team.
Thank you.
Okay.
Dick, nobody leaves me speechless, but somehow you manage to every year. But thank you so much.
Well,
last year, that generosity translated, as you know, into more families, and we're going to quadruple that this year with this year's breakfast with
the virtual breakfast.
That's right. Here we go. In the whole new world, right?
Well, and you know what? I didn't have to get up. Well, I did because I had a meeting, but I didn't have to get up at 6 o'clock and drive to the breakfast. So maybe it's a good thing, right?
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
Well, good. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Continued success.
Thank you, Dick, and you as well.
Okay.
We're so grateful for you.
That is incredible generosity. Thank you, Dick Monfort,
Thanks, Dick.
so much.
Thank you, Dick.
Thank you, Dick. I gave.
Yeah. So Lowry,
Me too.
he said, if we want to get into his pockets, how do we do this?
I mean, we've really tried to make it very easy for you this year. One of the amazing things about Dick's generosity is that he actually matches all the sponsorships too. So we're already off to an amazing start thanks to our wonderful community partners. And this year, because of the CARES Act and our Colorado EZ tax credit, the math is amazing. One thing that's so amazing about this is we really want anyone to just be able to be a part of our family, be a part of the Habitat experience, the mission, the family, help us bring families home. Whether it's $5 or $5,000, it all makes a difference. So hopefully, you know, we're as successful this year as ever before.
You guys, this has been an incredible morning with you, or afternoon if you're watching.
When you're watching it, right?
Good evening. With you guys, it's been an incredible morning. Sherry, do you have anything you want to add to this?
Oh gosh, what can you say except what an amazing, inspiring program this morning. How thankful we are to every single person behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, our speakers. Oh my goodness, what a lineup this year. I mean, how can we ever thank you all enough? You know, we just can't. But it's you that are the hope builders. It's you that brings homes to a reality for families like Jacqueline and Thomas. And really, Jenny, I think all we need to do is just close in prayer now.
Absolutely.
You know, because it's been an amazing morning with you all. Close your eyes or keep your eyes open. But we're going to say just a short little prayer now.
Yes.
Father God, we just stand in awe of you. We stand in awe of the provisions that you provide, not only through this breakfast in this community and this generous partners that we have, Father, but the little things that you do every day. You know, the ways that you make the impossible possible. We can never thank you enough, God, for your loving care for our families, for their protection, for everything that you do. And Father, we just thank you and give you all the praise, all the glory. I pray your peace, love, and grace upon everyone. Everyone, no matter how big, no how small you think you help, it all matters, Lord. And just, I pray a prayer of protection over all of them. Thank you, Jesus. It's in your precious name that we pray. Amen.
Thank you again, Sherry and Lowry, and thank you all for joining us this morning. What an honor it's been for us to be a part of this today with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So every Habitat breakfast, there's this moment where, you know, there's a speaker and there's, you know, everyone pulls out their pocketbooks, you know, and they write the checks. And so I guess if we could leave you with that sort of moment, because, you know, make no mistake, this is about raising support. And we're doing this unashamed, right? So we have this amazing clip that we're going to leave you with. It's a montage of B-roll from people who have given of themselves to Habitat and building homes. But the man speaking, his name is Clive Rainey, and he was the first ever volunteer for Habitat for Humanity. And he's just sharing some of his words to all of us, because really Habitat is not an organization, it's us. If you are contributing, if you are part of this in any way, you are giving people hope. And so that mirrors what he says. So we want to leave you with this. Give generously, please. We hope you have enjoyed this broadcast, and have a blessed day.
Hello, my name is Clive Rainey, and I'm calling in today from Guatemala, a country to which some of your volunteers have come to help build, and I'm giving a special greeting to them today, those who I have met and worked with side by side. 43 years ago, I had the privilege of joining Millard and Linda Fuller, the founders of Habitat, as the first volunteer. And I worked with them as we began this great work. After all those years, I have a treasure house of stories, and I wish I could share every one of them with you. But today I'm only going to share one. A few years ago, I was invited to participate in a groundbreaking ceremony for a young family in Sussex County, Delaware. The young mother arrived. It was a cold and damp day, and she had with her two daughters, one about 6 and the other about 3. And I tried to get them to smile. I spoke to them, but they were very shy. And then the ceremony began with the usual prayers and thank yous and recognitions, all of the things that you do at these events. The executive director of the affiliate stepped forward, and he began to talk about what was going to happen over the next few weeks. And he said, I know you see this lot with all these old cars on here and some trees that have grown up and such. And he said, but we've already talked to the neighbors, and the cars are going to disappear this week. And then we're going to bring a bulldozer in here and clear this lot. And we're going to start digging your foundation. And very soon you'll be out here side by side with us doing your sweat equity, building your house. As he was talking, the little 6-year-old girl was leaned around her mother, bent over double, leaning in, with her little eyes squinted up. And you could almost read on her face what is this man talking about? But you could also see that she was trying to see it, that she was looking hard into the future. Well, very soon the ceremony ended. We did our spade turning and turned a little dirt that had been pre-softened for us. And then the crowd dispersed, and only I and the executive director, the mother and the two young girls were left on the lot. The little 3-year-old spotted a stump, a tree stump. She went over and she climbed up on it, and she leaped off, and she giggled and squealed with delight. She ran around and climbed back up on it again to do it again. And then all of a sudden the 6-year-old raised her little arms in the air over her head, closed her eyes and began to sway, something you know she learned in church. And when she did that, I turned to the mother and to Kevin and I said, "Shush, something very important is about to happen here." And we all stopped and we watched as the little girl swayed and began to sing. I'm gonna get a doggy, I'm gonna get a doggy. Those two little girls had claimed that property, this abandoned, overgrown lot. They had seen the future. Their hopes were coming true. We are their hope. They are looking to us to help them to build their homes. And as you prepare to respond today, I hope you'll think to yourself, I am their hope. I want to respond to them as their hope, to make their hope come true. I don't know most of you, but I know this. There is an award that you can have now that won't require going to the framing shop so you can hang it on the wall. The frame is already ready. It's the mirror in your house into which you look. And I want you to be able to look into that mirror and say to yourself, I am somebody's hope. Every day, I hope you'll do that. I am somebody's hope. Thank you for all that you're about to do, that you have done. Keep up the great work, and God bless you. Amen.